Hello, my name is Richard Lansdorp and I'm a solution engineer at DevRev. Today I'm going to walk you through our customer experience product. But before I do that, let's talk about a problem that's almost as old as time within the customer experience space. How do you balance delivering an excellent customer service while at the same time being operational efficient and cutting cost? It used to be always a trade-off. Either you cut cost and you have a poorer experience, or you give a better experience and you drive up cost. Now, we at DevRev believe that with the coming of AI, this is a problem that we can finally solve. You can both cut cost and drive up an excellent experience. Now, there are also some new challenges, some modern challenges, because the expectation of customer experience has been driven up by far. Now customers expect to be helped anywhere, anytime, in an instant. They want to get direct answers to their questions, and if they need to speak to an agent, they definitely do not want to repeat themselves. They expect that the customer service agent knows them, knows their problem, and can help them directly there on the spot. And this is just to deliver an okay customer experience. If you want to deliver an excellent customer experience, you have to go beyond that. You have to be proactive. Now, if we speak about AI and how AI can help this problem, it also actually comes with another challenge that we've seen in the market, is that users and organizations have poor experiences with chatbots, and chatbots are often seen as AI, even though they weren't. So these chatbots were usually built out of decision trees that were absolutely hard to maintain because you had to think about the entire click path of a customer, which constantly changes. And then at the same time, the customer itself had a very poor experience, being stuck in loops and usually not even getting the answer and finding it very hard to actually speak to an agent. So it was a very broken experience and it didn't deliver on what the expectation was. Thankfully now, with generative AI and modern platforms like DevRev, we can solve all of these problems. DevRev is a native AI solution that has its architecture built to work with your data through what we call Airdrop, to bring in data from any type of source and lets Gen AI work on that data. And at the same time, we have built a knowledge graph which gives context. So all these things sound maybe a little bit technical, but it's important to say because this is where we differentiate in order to give the experience that I'm about to show you. So let's see how we can actually deliver value. And to do this, we will look at Maple. And Maple Software is a fictitious company. And if I have to compare it to any type of company, we could compare it to a company like Stripe, a payment gateway provider, right? And Daniel is a merchant who's planning to use Maple for his transactions. And he's a customer of Maple. Now, Maple uses DevRev in order to give this delightful experience to his customers. So let's have a look to Daniel's experience. Now, before he starts, Daniel wants to know what are the services that Maple actually offers. And normally he would have to look through a bunch of articles to see what is actually there. But instead of now, he can just ask his question directly in the intelligent search and get a generative AI response that's an exact answer to his question. So he knows what services he can use. And this is all related to exactly the data of Maple itself. So it doesn't hallucinate through a method that we call RAG pipelines. Now, to really enhance the customer experience of Daniel, we need to go a step further and deliver a powerful conversational type of experience. And let's say Daniel is now aware of the services that are there, but instead he wants to know, how do I integrate my payment system? And here the AI agent can actually again look through that knowledge, but be like a brainstorming buddy to help him through the entire process, looking through various documentations and give him exact steps on what he has to do, where he can ask deep diving questions if he would like as well, and actually refer to the guides that he's using so that Daniel can be sure that this is coming from a proper source. It could even share maybe some code snippets, right, in order for Daniel to really be set up. Now, let's go a little bit ahead of time and say Daniel has implemented the solution, yeah, it's fully integrated, but he's running into an error, actually error 404, which is making it stop working. Now, this is going to be an issue for him because he's actually losing money on the transactions that are going on. And he actually needs to get a live agent to help him. You see, the agent is trying to help, but none of these resolutions actually help him. So this is where we see the power of human and AI collaboration. The AI agent intelligently asks to connect to an agent, and now we see that this has been escalated to the right person. So a couple of things have happened on the background. The AI has analyzed what this issue is about, what part of the product, and has looked for an available agent that has the right skill set to match these requirements, so he can help Daniel as quick as possible. This will help reduce a lot of transfers between different agents, and at the same time, this will help enhance the entire customer experience. Now, let's look at Arturo, who's been handed this query, and how he can help Daniel further. So this is the screen that Arturo looks at every day, and where he will help Daniel from. So first of all, you see that it's not just conversations, we have tickets as well, we have issues and so on, and we can organize our screen as we would like in the way that I like to work as a support agent. So I have full flexibility over that. I have view of my expectations of the SLAs that are running and also the stages, so I know where to prioritize my work. Now let's go into the actual conversation. The great thing is I have full context of what was discussed with the agent, but I also get a good summary of what exactly needs to have my attention in terms of this issue, which is the error 404 that has been provided. Now, where DevRev really differs, it does not only give great insights with AI, but it also has observability tools where me as Arturo can actually directly troubleshoot the issue. And since the skill sets, since the system already gave it to an agent that has the technical skills to help Daniel, he directly came to the person that can help him. And Arturo doesn't need to go back and forth to ask his questions to Daniel. He can actually look into the session recording, which is a fully compliant solution where you can see the API calls, the dead clicks, rates clicks, and so on. So he has all the information to hand in order to help Daniel with his query. And as you can probably see as well, like the information is blocked out. So any information that is personal that you see here is completely blocked out. So even in countries such as Europe, which have heavy regulations, you could use this type of technology and make it fully GDPR compliant. Now, Arturo is a very smart guy, and having looked at the actual session recording, he knows that the issue is that he knows how to resolve this issue by saying that we just have to restart the actual API payment. So let's say that to Daniel. Please restart the API gateway. Now Daniel tries this out, and as luck would have it, actually this solution is completely solved. But this was an easy answer, right? So we don't want to actually bother Arturo with his questions in the future anymore. And it's also where DevRev again helps, right? It's a constantly learning mechanism. So first of all, we go ahead and resolve this issue, and then Daniel can give his feedback that this was actually a great solution and that he was helped. But at the same time, we thought that AI was out of the picture. But our good AI friend has been listening to the conversation the entire time and saw the solution that was given by Arturo. So what he has done is proactively created a draft of the answer, right? We're saying that if you have this issue, you probably have to restart the payment API gateway. And Arturo could publish this directly in order to make sure that the next time a customer asks this question, it doesn't need to come to his team. Now, Arturo has more on his plate, so he also has some tickets that he wants to look at. And the first thing is, he wants to know where he should focus his work. And obviously, he needs to focus really on those tickets that are blockers. So he wants to group the tickets that are there to the most severe type of tickets. And to his surprise, he sees that there is some issue with the payment system. So he's picking up the ticket and he's looking into and sees that there's a lot of communication going on. So he wants to get a quick view of the actual issue. And he gets a comprehensive summary of what is going on here. After he has gotten this summary, he still is not quite sure how to solve this, because it's a quite complex issue. But he knows that this is probably not the first one in the organization that has to be dealing with this issue. So he can simply ask the AI agent, how do I solve an ticket 3264? And we see it already comes up. And then the system can look into all the different objects in DevRev. And here's where it's unique, because it can work with both structured and unstructured data to provide the amount of steps that Arturo can take here in order to help customer Daniel. And we see here that it comes actually with information out of issues and information from different type of articles, and tells me exactly what I need to do. Now I know that this is actually a bigger problem, and I want to create an incident for this. So let me see if there's an incident already available for the payment system. So I'm going to search, and I see indeed there's a payment system outage. So I'm going to link the actual incident to this ticket. And now Arturo can be sure that this ticket will go to the right hands. At the same time, he can also use intelligent macros to, for instance, escalate this ticket to the right development team. We see that he has actually already done this. Oh, 1 second. So he can use intelligent macros to escalate this to the development team. So we see that after just one click, the status has changed, and now we know that this is not a ticket that needs his immediate attention. But Arturo is someone that wants to go above and beyond. And DevRev allows him to do this. And we said it before at the opening statement. What is more important to give an excellent type of customer service than being proactive? And to be proactive, you need real-time insights. So we use the smart cluster option of DevRev, which allows Arturo to directly get an insight of what is happening in the tickets. And he sees something here. There is a large amount of issues with the payment gateway. And this makes sense because of the conversation that he has had. And he's a little bit worried that this will just keep going in terms of tickets. And even though he knows they're working on the incident, there might be more going on here. So being the proactive guy that he is, he actually wants to look into the organization. Who is responsible for the payment gateway? And this is where the knowledge graph comes into play. We said before that the knowledge graph gave context for the AI, but it does so much more. It also helps your human agents in order to find the right person, or actually anyone from the organization, in order to really enhance collaboration. So within a few seconds, I have found the pay part. I could have also have searched if I wanted instead of clicking. Now I can open up the pay part and I see who is responsible. I see it's Aswin who's responsible for this particular part. I see some descriptions going on here, and I could mark Ashwin if I wanted to give him some comments, but I don't want to wait for that. So instead I start up a huddle to go ahead and debug. So right from here, we can start collaboration on debugging this actual issue. Now we've spoken about real-time insights, but let's also look at the actual dashboards, because I said before already that DevRev is unique in bringing all the data together. So what is data without insights? First of all, we want to of course ensure that the agents that we are running are for sure the best agents, right? They have a great deflection rate, so we can deliver that cost efficiency and operational efficiency. Now we see the amount of answers that have been answered, but also the questions that not have been answered, so we can make a choice on how to improve this. We can look at the articles to understand if we need to make improvements in our knowledge management section. And we can look at the search agents. So not only the agent for the end customers, but also the agent that we saw Arturo use in order to get an answer to his question. Now, we saw before as well the replay of the sessions, but we can even see the whole customer journey on the website and see where there is drop-offs and where there is conversion rates, and we can build funnels. So again, we can take proactive steps to see where we need to make changes. And of course, we have also the team performance insights, right? So you as a manager can look, where do you need to make some enhancements? Who do you need to train extra? Where do we have the problem with staffing? And of course, also in the tickets insights themselves, right? So one thing that we saw, there was a lot of issues with pay. We saw that through a real-time insight, so we didn't even need the dashboard, but we see that actually being confirmed here. We see the SLA statistics, and we could even see, for instance, where tickets get stuck in the status and zoom into that specific part. So I hope you could have seen how DevRev connects the entire customer experience. How AI, through DevRev's native AI capabilities, helps both your customers, your agents, at every step of the way. Bringing not just deflection, but really an empowerment of human plus AI. We saw also the power of the knowledge graph, how it fosters collaboration. And we saw how DevRev in total can make you a more proactive organization that go beyond just the modern expectations of customers, but really move to that proactive state. So I hope you enjoyed this demo, and I'm looking forward to discuss next steps for you and have a follow-up conversation. Thank you.